Hi guys, it's Greg with Dufs Garage, and as you can see, we're still working on the cab. Almost done with it. We're pretty close to finishing all the metal work. Very little left to do. Just a couple little things here and there. But I'm not going to put another video out there because I already got two videos out there on metal work on the cab, so that's enough because that's pretty boring. And so I'm going to start with some. Well, I don't know where I have it. I'm going to start with some seam sealer, and I'm going to start seam sealing the stuff. And I've got a couple holes in the back, but I'm going to put some seam sealer on some metal plugs and plug that up back there and seam seal some of the other places. Now, the metal work on the cab is pretty decent. It's pretty good. It's not great. It's not the kind of metal work that you would see on like Chip Foose vehicle or some of the really high-end stuff. This is a budget build truck, and it's just, you know, it is what it is, and we're trying to get it done in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not going to spend years on a vehicle. You know, I want to try to get this thing done in just months versus years. So, but it's done very well. It's not great, but it's done well enough to where it's going to be a nice truck when we get done. It's going to be a decent looking truck. So, so we're going to get started on that. All right. One of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to use this seam sealer, and I'm going to take and seam seal all these edges up. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because just in case there's some little pinholes or something somewhere, it'll get them. And what I'll do is I'll put some in here. You know, I'll put some in there, and then I'll take my finger and I'll just spread this out with my finger and get it coated and get it in there. You know, like some caulk on tile in a bathroom or something. And I'll do that all over. I'm going to hit all these little places that I've welded around them because I know that there's some pinholes in those because I didn't weld them all the way around. But they don't have to be. I'd weld them enough to where they won't come off. But when I seam seal it, it'll be there. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, I got most of this stuff seam sealed up, and it's looking good. I got these other areas back here in the back done up. So at this point, you're starting to see the end of at the finish line, you know, or at least to the point where the fun stuff starts. And the fun stuff is when you start putting the sound deadener in it, painting it, sound deadener, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's that's the fun stuff, and that's the goal. Within the next several days, I want to try to get this thing to the point where I can paint it and then get it on the cab and start putting sound deadener and stuff like that in it to get it pushed along aggressively. All this stuff right here, I got to move all this and get it out of here, and that way when I get ready to put the cab on the truck, I can put it on there and I can move the whole truck inside and work on it inside. So next several days to a week or so, yeah, maybe a week, that's where we're headed at. That's the goal for this. So stay with us and we'll keep plugging away. It's a large project doing something to this extent, but you know, I enjoy it, and to me it's worth it. Keeps me out of trouble. That's the main thing. So stick with us, and we'll keep plugging away at it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. All right, guys, here's an update on what we got so far. I got the cab all ready to go here. I sprayed the bottom. I cleaned it up, phosphoed it, the bottom, and all this stuff. I taped it off and I sprayed the firewall. And it'll hide most of the bad stuff, but it'll be fine. And we're going to when this dries, we sprayed the whole bottom of this too. It's a undercoating, and I'll show you what it is. This stuff right here. This stuff is really good. It'll get all over you, but it's really good. It sprays good, but it's kind of expensive. It's like $60 a bottle, but it does a really good job. So, as you can tell, it does a pretty good job. So, and it may not can tell on the camera, but so now when that dries, I'm gonna tape that off, and then I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna scuff it all, and I'm gonna prime it all in gray, the whole truck inside and out. And then I got this fixed. I got all the places on the bottom fixed. See there, got that one fixed. It was just a little place there, and the inside one was fine. On this one, it was completely intact. It was just the outside. So we'll prime it, and then we'll get it ready to spray some paint. But I have to do a few things before I do that. So we'll prime it, and then when we get to there, we'll show you what we got going on. All right, back at it. I decided to go ahead and I got a cold, so bear with me. Decided to go ahead and do some Bondoing. I did it on the bad spots there, up there. This right here is not so bad. So I'm gonna let that go. And I did it where I filled in the hole for the gas filler. I'm not gonna mess with the bottoms. I think that's all I'm gonna do is those 3 spots and then let her go. It's all the body work I'm doing. Got this mounted. I need to adjust it a little bit, I think, but as you can see, this is way too high, and I knew it was gonna be, so I'm gonna end up having to cut it up here somewhere and bending it and bringing it down. You know, it's gonna have to come way down here somewhere. And I'm probably gonna do that once I get it on the frame, because I'm gonna put the steering column in when I get it on the frame so I can line everything up, and then I can adjust that where I need it to be. So everything else looking pretty good. I spilled white paint there, but I'm gonna spray all this in here. I'm gonna spray this thing probably black, and this probably black. I hadn't decided yet, but starting to come together. I'm gonna build a panel back here on the back at some point, I think. So yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Before long, I'm gonna start putting in all the some Dynamat type stuff. It ain't really Dynamat, but it's actually Rockville. It's Rockville. It's a Rockville stuff. It's the same thing, but it's really nice. Works real good, and you can buy that stuff offline. So that's what we got right now. Now when this cures out, I'm gonna start sanding and everything and get that done so I can get some paint on this puppy. Get her going, get her on the frame. Got to do some blacking out a little bit down there first though, but yeah, it's coming around. All right, guys, I've skipped ahead a lot. Got the inside painted this light gray. I know, again, I said it looks white, but it's not. It's a light gray color. And I painted the outside this green. Thought it'd be a little darker than this, but it's not. But that's fine. Turned out okay. It's fine. I think what I may end up doing is doing a little bit of distressing to it, but obviously I'll have to wait until it completely dries. Painted all this black because I think I'm just going to put black carpet in here. I got to put down the sound deadening and then put carpet over that. I left this on there for now because I still got to paint the bottom part of this black. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's not super slick. I mean, there's dents and everything in it, but it's okay. And that's the kind of truck we're building. We're just building a cool looking old truck. So yeah, turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it, and we'll see how it goes from here on. I gotta get this thing on the frame, and I'm gonna clean all this up in here and get the truck in here with this on the frame, and then I can start working on the front of the truck and getting all the front of the pieces finished and painted. I'll paint them outside. I painted this in here, but I'll paint the other pieces outside once I get the truck in here, and hadn't decided what color I'm gonna paint this. I may paint it black, I may paint it the gray color, I don't know. I hadn't decided yet, but yeah, I don't know. I really hadn't decided what color I'm gonna do the seat. I'm gonna do kick panels and here, and I'm gonna do this back in here. I'm gonna cover that with something. I'm gonna do something with that. So, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. So looking at it right here, looks pretty good when it's in the dark. My lighting in here is not very good, but in the dark it looks pretty good. In the light, it's just way too light green. And the funny thing is my hats that I ordered, some of them are about that color, like a Kelly green, which looks good on my hat. Not so crazy about it on the truck, but I'm gonna live with it for a little while, see how I like it. I may end up liking it and going with it, and then, but I'm gonna proceed on. I'm gonna put some sound deadening in it and start getting it really, I guess, ready to put on the frame. I got to get all that other stuff out of the way over there so I can get the truck in here. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just move forward, and if I need to paint it later, I'll scuff it back down and repaint it. But I got to let it dry anyway, completely. It's dry to the touch. It's been drying for like 24 hours, but it's still, you can tell when you touch it that it's a little soft. But it'll probably take a couple weeks before I can actually sand on it. So, and that's fine. That'll be good. That'll give me time to get a bunch of other stuff done. See if it's a light hitting it. Look how Kelly green that looks. And I even missed some spots too. There's some places I didn't get very good, so I may end up going over it again anyway. So, but that's what we got right now. We're going to put that sound deadening right there in there. All right, I'm gonna wipe this down. I got dust everywhere in my shop. It's just pretty bad dusty, and so I'm gonna wipe this off a little bit before I wipe the top of it off, just where it was. Look at that, good grief. Dusty and dirty. Get this out. I could use that for a speaker port or something. So yeah, we're recycling. We recycle around here. All right. Let me like to get something to cut that with, and my roller over here. I probably don't have enough. This is left over from other jobs that I've had, other projects rather, not really jobs, but other projects. And but it'll be good for now. So it's kind of hard to cut too. You have to really roll this stuff out good, or it won't stick. Especially when it's a little cooler weather, like it is now. It's starting to get cooler. If it was hot out, it would probably stick really easily. But I like to roll it out really good. That way it sticks. That worked out pretty good. All right. Oh, maybe that'll stick. Sometimes if I don't get them good in the crease, I'll just slice it with my knife, and that way it'll go right down in there. This stuff's kind of thick, so it's kind of hard to get in like really tight corners. So I just slice it right there. So yeah, you can start to see. I know it's hard to see in here, but I gotta get some better lighting in here. I'll move the camera so you can at least see that much. Well, there is no good lighting in here, but I thought it was better than that. That's all right. I gotta add a little bit more, maybe. Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah, I'm not gonna have nowhere near enough to do it, but get it started with it anyway, which is all I wanted to do. Basically, just get rid of this stuff. The problem here is that I got a hole in the floorboard that I got to cover. So I got to do that. I'll do that. I'll do that later on. All right. Yeah. Slice it a little bit and it'll go in. And I'll come back and add some more when I get some. All right. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Kind of cautious about putting some over here because there's a heater. My heater box mounts here, but the motor sticks out there. I don't know if any of that'll interfere with it or not. I don't think it will. I don't think it will, but You never know. All right, we got the mat down, sound deadening stuff down, and we got to get some more, obviously, finish it up. But we got put down what we have, and I think I don't really like this color of paint, so I did some mixing of paints. And this is a dark, see how dark and green that is right there? I think that's what I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna go dark on it, pretty dark green. I'm gonna do some mixing, but I think it's gonna be a lot darker. I want it to be more traditional, like the colors we were back in the day. Back in '51, I don't know if this was, I doubt this color, I doubt they had a color like this. Might have had it, I don't really know. But I know they had some darker colors, and I kind of like the darker colors, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna sand this back down when it dries. It's still real soft. I can still barely stick my fingernail into the paint. So we'll let that dry for probably 2 or 3 weeks, probably at least. See, this is a couple weeks, and it's a whole lot harder. But we'll let it dry for 2 or 3 weeks to get really good and hard on there, and then we'll sand her down a little bit, scuff it good, and then respray it. I'll be happier with a darker color. Be kind of like that, but in the daylight, which I like a lot better. Yeah, it'll be something kind of like this color in the daylight. It's real dark right now, but in the daylight it looks like this. Yeah, not good. So anyway, that's where we're at, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for hanging in there. We're getting some stuff done. And I'm probably still going to mount this on the frame. Even though it ain't painted, I'm probably still going to mount it on the frame so I can get some other stuff done. I can paint this on the frame. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, I got the box on there. I can take the box off, the back of the truck. I can take it off because it ain't permanently mounted yet. So anyway, I can do that and take it off, put this on. You know, we got options. We can do things. And then I'm going to get to going. Once I get this on there, I'm going to get to going on the front and get all those fenders and all that kind of stuff done. And so, moving along. Stick around. We'll finish this thing up eventually.